Hey, welcome back to the Crimson Pact, where we uncover stories so unsettling they'll stick with you long after the screen goes dark. I'm warning you now, these true tales sent in by viewers across America aren't your typical ghost stories. They're real, raw, and hit way too close to home. We've got footprints in the snow that defy logic, a hiker's worst nightmare on a famous trail, and a spring break trip that turned into a stalker's game. If you're watching alone, maybe keep a light on. Let's dive in, but don't say I didn't warn you. Story 1. The Footprints in the Snow. Imagine it's a crisp Sunday morning in 2012, somewhere in rural America, maybe Ohio or Montana. Jake, a 26-year-old mechanic, steps out of his century-old brick house, a family heirloom passed down from his grandparents. It's 15 degrees Fahrenheit, snow's piled 6 inches deep, and his driveway's a good 30 feet from the woods, a forest so vast it stretches miles, untouched by anyone but deer and maybe the occasional hunter. Jake's headed for his weekly coffee run, keys jangling when he freezes. Right by his truck, there's a trail of footprints, fresh, clean, about 12 feet long, coming straight from the woods to his driver's side door, looping right back. No detours, no stops at the house, just there and gone. At first, Jake thinks it's his girlfriend, Sarah, maybe grabbing something from the truck. But she's still snoring inside. And here's the creepy part. These aren't boot prints. They're bare human footprints, toes and all, in freezing snow. Jake's no stranger to weird. He grew up exploring those woods. But this feels wrong. He snaps a few photos, shakes it off, and heads to town, but the image lingers. Fast forward to February 2015. It's a weekday, 7 a.m., and Jake's late for work. He steps outside and stops dead. The yard's a mess, footprints everywhere. Dozens of trails, some circling the house, others snaking to every window, even the back porch 20 yards away. Again, no shoe marks, just bare feet. Sarah's freaked, pacing the kitchen, begging him to call the cops. Jake's stubborn, though. He grabs his .308 rifle, kisses her goodbye, and tracks the prints into the woods, maybe a mile deep. The trail's clear at first, weaving through pines, but then it splits. 2 paths, one veering left, one right. He picks left, heart pounding, only to hit a dead end 200 yards later. No turnaround, no scuff marks, just stops, like someone vanished. Years pass, and Jake and Sarah get engaged, trying to forget. But January 2019 brings it all back. Jake wakes to fresh prints, hundreds this time, looping the house, crisscrossing the driveway, even leading to his shed, where his chainsaw and toolbox are gone. He's livid. He calls his buddy Theo, a 6'4" hunter who doesn't scare easy. They gear up, Theo with a thermal-scoped AR-10, and head out, trekking 2 miles into the snowy dark. The prints split again, then deepen, like someone's running. Theo signals Jake to stop, peers through his scope, and goes pale. Jake takes a look and nearly drops the rifle. 4 figures, 2 big, 2 smaller, huddled in the snow, 50 yards away. Naked, in 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Eating something, jerking their heads like animals. The big ones hoist the smaller ones onto their shoulders and melt into the woods. Jake and Theo don't speak the whole way back. Sarah's awake, sobbing, when they return at 3 a.m. They call the cops, who search the next day but find nothing. Snow's covered the tracks. Local news picks it up, a brief segment on vandalism at a rural home. But Reddit threads explode with theories. Feral families, cults, even cryptids. Jake and Sarah are still there, too stubborn to move, but they've got floodlights now, cameras, and a German shepherd. Every winter, they brace for more prints. They haven't seen any since, but they're still looking. This one's a gut punch. If you're in your 30s or 40s, maybe you've got a house you love, a place that's yours. Now imagine someone or something treating it like their playground. Jake's story screams violation, especially in rural America, where your nearest neighbor's half a mile away. Bare feet in snow. That's not kids pranking. Could be drifters, sure, but the thermal scope sighting, 4 people, no clothes. In January. My money's on something organized, maybe a group living off-grid, watching Jake's place for years. The media barely touched it, typical small-town news. But online, it's a legend now. What's your take? Human or not? Tell me below. Story 2. The Pacific Crest Trail Nightmare. Now let's head to summer 2024, somewhere on the Pacific Crest Trail, 2,650 miles of wilderness from Mexico to Canada. Sarah, 34, a Seattle-based graphic designer, loves solo hiking. She's tackled tough trails before, so she plans a 150-mile stretch in California, parking her Jeep at the end, hitching to the start, and hiking back over 10 days. She's got her gear, her .22 rifle, and a playlist to keep her sane. First 3 days, pure bliss. Blue skies, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, deer grazing 20 yards away. Then night 3 hits like a freight train. Sarah wakes in her tent, pitched 100 yards off trail to avoid other hikers, with this sick feeling in her gut. It's 2 a.m., dead silent except for crickets. She checks her pack, her wallet's gone. Driver's license, $200 cash, 2 credit cards. Poof. She tears the tent apart, thinking she misplaced it, but deep down she knows better. She's 60 miles from a ranger station, no cell signal, and alone. Day 4, it gets worse. Her lighter's missing, then her Swiss Army knife. By day 5, 3 energy bars, gone. Small stuff, but deliberate. Someone sneaking into her camp while she sleeps, taking just enough to mess with her head. The kicker? Her rifle's untouched, propped against her pack every night. Why not grab that? It's like they want her scared. Sarah starts tying her tent shut with paracord, sleeping with her gun across her chest. But the paranoia's relentless. She hears rustling, probably a squirrel, but her brain screams predator. One afternoon, she swears she steps in a puddle, cold water soaking her boot. She hears the splash, feels the chill, but looks down, and the dirt's dry as bone. By night 7, she's unraveling. She's maybe 40 miles from her Jeep, pushing hard, but every twig snap feels like eyes on her back. She tries staying awake, splashing creek water, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, icy, on her face to focus. Doesn't help. That night, footsteps circle her tent, slow and deliberate, maybe 15 feet away. She grips her rifle, frozen as they fade into the dark. She doesn't sleep. Day 9, Sarah's done. She's 10 miles out, close enough to skip camping and hike through the night. It's pitch black, 9 p.m., and she's moving fast, flashlight in one hand, rifle in the other. Her legs burn, but stopping's not an option. Then she hears it. Footsteps, heavy, trailing her, maybe 30 yards back. She spins, beam cutting through the dark, and catches a figure ducking behind a pine. Her voice cracks as she yells, "Come out!" He steps forward, tall, gaunt, scratched raw, wearing her stolen shorts. His face is a mess of matted beard and dirt, eyes locked on her. He takes a step, ignoring her rifle. Sarah fires a warning shot, crack, into the dirt 5 feet away. He flinches, bolts into the trees, gone. Sarah sprints the last 2 hours, collapsing at her Jeep at 11:30 p.m. She locks the doors, calls 911 from a weak signal, and waits, shaking. Cops show up at dawn, take her statement, but find nothing. No prints, no trace. A local paper runs a blurb about trail disturbances, but hikers on X light up, sharing similar stories of missing gear and shadows at night. Sarah's back in Seattle now, but she's sworn off solo trips. Her rifle's in storage, and she wakes up at 2 a.m. most nights, listening for footsteps that aren't there. Holy crap, right? If you're into hiking, or even just road trips, this one's a wake-up call. The Pacific Crest Trail's a bucket list spot for a lot of us, but Sarah's story shows its dark side. Solo travel's freeing, especially for women in their 30s pushing boundaries. But it's a gamble. That guy, probably a transient, living out there, preying on hikers. The hallucinations, though, feeling water that wasn't there. That's your brain cracking under stress. I've had moments camping where a noise becomes a monster in my head. Sarah's life's changed. She's jumpy now, trusts the woods less. Posts from other hikers mention similar vibes, but cops, they rarely patrol trails that remote. Ever had a scare outdoors? Share it. We're all ears. Story 3. The Charleston Stalker. Spring break 2023, Charleston, South Carolina. The kind of place you'd pick for a chill getaway. Anna and Lena, 21-year-old college juniors from Ohio, score a cheap Airbnb a mile from the historic district. They're on a budget, splitting $150 a night, planning to hit oyster bars, ghost tours, and maybe a club or two. It's Anna's first trip as a legal drinker, so she's pumped. No fake ID stress. First 2 days are perfect. 75 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny, shrimp po' boys by day, cocktails by night. Day 3, they're at a dive restaurant, maybe 300 feet off King Street, digging into fried shrimp and hush puppies. It's 5 p.m. golden hour when Anna's phone buzzes. Unknown number, one word, hey. She shrugs, probably spam. Then another text, look outside. Her stomach twists. She glances through the window, just tourists, kids on scooters, nothing weird. Lena's like, wrong number, ignore it. Anna texts back, who is this? No reply. They laugh it off, but Anna's spooked. Then it hits her. Day 1, they entered a cafe giveaway. Free coffee for a week. Name, number, email, even their trip dates. Lena remembers too, and they wonder if that's the link. They finish dinner, uneasy, and head to a rooftop bar 2 miles away, packed with 20-somethings. The vibe's electric. Neon lights, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, Drake blasting. Anna's sipping a vodka soda when her phone lights up again. That's a nice red jacket. She's wearing a red jacket, one of maybe 3 people in the whole bar. Her hands shake as she shows Lena, who's scanning the crowd, but it's a sea of faces. No one's staring, no one's obvious. Anna's heart's racing. Someone's watching her, right now. They grab their bags, slip out, and speed walk to their Airbnb, a quaint shotgun house with creaky floors. It's 10 p.m. They bolt the front door, check the back, draw every curtain. Lena's trying to stay calm, saying it's probably a prank, but Anna's not buying it. They're starving, so they order Uber Eats, burgers from a joint half a mile away, set to leave at door. Estimated wait, 45 minutes. They huddle on the couch, watching The Office to distract themselves, but Anna keeps checking her phone. At 10:50 p.m., a loud knock. Anna's app says the driver's arriving, but there's no drop-off photo. She creeps to the peephole. There's a guy, bulky, in a black hoodie, holding their food bag. He knocks again, says, Uber Eats for Anna. Her blood runs cold. Drivers don't do that. She yells, just leave it. He doesn't budge. Need you to sign real quick, he says, voice flat. Lena's dialing 911, whispering to Anna to stall. Anna's voice cracks. I'm good, just drop it. He bangs harder, rattling the doorframe. Anna, come on, open up. The doorknob twists violently. Anna's screaming inside her head, picturing him busting through. Lena's on with dispatch, giving the address. The banging stops. Silence. then a thump as the bag hits the porch. Footsteps sprint away. Sirens wail, closer, closer. Anna peeks out the front window. Blue lights flood the street. 2 cops tackle the guy 150 yards away, pinning him in a neighbor's yard. He's thrashing, yelling as they cuff him. Cops knock minutes later. Anna and Lena spill everything: the texts, the jacket, the door. Turns out the guy worked at the cafe, stole giveaway forms, and had been tailing them since day 1. His rap sheet: assault, stalking, worse. He'd conned the real driver into handing over the food, maybe flashing cash or a fake ID. Local news ran a segment: tourists targeted in Charleston scam, but downplayed it, focusing on visitor safety tips. Online though, X and TikTok went nuts. Never do giveaways. Charleston's not safe. Anna and Lena left the next day, shaken. Back home, Anna's parents installed a Ring doorbell on her apartment. She hasn't traveled since and deletes every unknown text unread. Man, this one's rough. Charleston's a vibe: history, food, charm. But Anna's story's a reminder: predators blend in anywhere. If you're 25 to 50, maybe you felt that chill, like someone's got eyes on you. The cafe giveaway, we've all done those, right? But this guy turning it into a hunt, that's calculated. The media dropped the ball, barely a headline, but social media called it what it was: terrifying. Anna's different now, jumpier, less trusting. Makes you wonder how many close calls we never hear about. Got a story like this? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading every one. That's it for today's plunge into real-life nightmares. From Jake's haunted winters to Sarah's trail terror and Anna's stalked vacation, these stories remind us: the scariest things aren't always in movies. They're out there, in our neighborhoods, our getaways. If they got your heart racing, hit that like button. It helps us keep sharing. Got your own creepy tale? Send it to us or spill it below. We're hooked. Subscribe, ring the bell, and maybe don't wander too far from home tonight. Stay sharp, and we'll catch you next week.